I am in a total, total place of disbelief right now. Not even so much disbelief, but just like amazement. Like I was crying. I'm like just trying to get myself together. But a while back, I made a video and I was explaining like how this one time I think I was watching Aquaman. I remember that I was watching Aquaman on Disney Plus, and then this lady, she came in, she got me, she like tapped me on my shoulder and she was like, "Can I just borrow you, borrow you for a second, like go back to watching your movie or whatever?" But she's like, "I just want to show you something." So I'm like, "Sure, sure, sure, sure." So like when she came and got me, there was like this blue ball. It was like a circle, right? And it would just start bouncing, and then it turned into two balls, then it turned into triangles and then squares, and then they just kept transforming, but it was just like this blue liquid. And then it like went into my eyes, and then like once the liquid went into like both of my eyes, I went to like this different dimension in which now I understand I was like a warehouse for awareness. The jokes they tell. But anyways, back to that. So the lady, and I just call her the lady. That's why I didn't even like ask her name, because like names don't be important to me. Like once you get the feel of somebody's like energy signature, names is like whatever, because you know their energy. You just know them by their energy, right? So that's how I just recognize most of the spirits or what have you that I deal with on the other side or other regions. So, anyways, I was just sitting at my desk and I'm drawing out on my paper or whatever. And so I don't know why I started thinking about Osiris and Isis. And then I'm just like, people keep, because I just don't understand the blockage in people's minds that they have with this Bible. And I be trying to, and then I try to let it go. And then I'm like, I really want to, and I'm like, let it go. So I'm like, okay, I was going to make a video later on today just showing the distinctions that it's the same story being retold over and over and over, because it's something in that story that we're not doing. So these incarnations have to keep coming back to show us the same things. Because I kind of pointed it out like with movies. Like if you notice, like every year the same type of movies. You got a football movie and like all this other stuff. It's like the same type of movies every year or whatever. And so I was gonna make a video later on today, which I still may, just comparing like Isis and Osiris, Adam and Eve, their baby, Horus, Jesus, or mankind, like the son of man. But it was those two. If you want to just like, I'm gonna make a video, but I'm gonna compare to show, because like that just goes into my outer body experience too, that I had when I showed like whether it was every denomination on earth. We was like all in the desert trying to say like whose God was better, trying to call out God and all this other stuff. But the music is the frequency, and the music is what attracted me to that place, because I was laying in my bed praying in 2012, thinking like everybody was gonna go start offing each other and robbing and doing crazy stuff because they thought the world was gonna end. And like that time I halfway believed. But I'm like, if there's any little chance that God is real, protect my family to the best of that what you can do. Like don't let them like fall into the same traps like everybody else is doing. For the people that's out there doing it, let them have a conscience to say like this ain't right, da 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 da. And I'm just praying for everybody. And then I get there and everybody's like arguing about God. I got mad, was like, enough. I did something and opened the sky up and made like 13 golden balls or golden planets. I still haven't worked out what that was yet. But anyways, this lady is Tamar. Remember, I had made a video talking about like Mary Magdalene, because like I just learned out like found out what light languages are, and not realizing like I've been doing like Reiki and like all these other practices, but I didn't grow up learning like what the practices was. I do what's natural to me, what feels right within me. And then I go about, and then I get online and I'm seeing people doing stuff, and then they're giving it names. And I'm like, whoa, nobody taught me this stuff, right? It's stuff that I've already just known just to do, as far as like just different things. And then like people's reading out of books, and they got like in depth, and I'm just like amazed, because I'm like, this came from in here for me. I didn't, like, nobody taught me this stuff. And so when I'm just over here just thinking, and I just, excuse me, but I used to like just draw. And so I drew out a trapezoid. It was a plain old trapezoid, the zoop, 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 zoop. But as I was going to connect that last line together to make it a trapezoid, names just started appearing like on the paper, but it wasn't like literally, but it was just like as if it was. So it was Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and then three children. And I'm like, Jesus had kids. I'm like, Jesus and Mary was married. I'm like, just following a Christian story because that's how I grew up in a Christian church. And then seeing this stuff being introduced to me, I'm questioning it. So of course I deep dove and then found out that they did have 3 children, which I'm honestly believing is 4 children, that the 4th one was also a girl and that she was just hidden from history or whatever. But I believe, Sarah, or Tamar, because Sarah is just the title. But when I did my research, I stumbled onto some books like in the Roman library or something. I forget what it's called. But I read that and it had the 13 bloodline families in it. And then it named their children. It was the Sarah, which her name was Tamar. The Sarah is just like the Christ, is a title, like God, a title. So if you was Sarah, that means you're a princess. And so it was Sarah, Jesus Jr., and then Joseph. He named the son after him and then named his son after his dad. And I'm just like, wow, but I still think there was a 4th child. And that's what I believe Tamar is trying to show me or tell me or just something. But anyway, she is the one, Mary Magdalene and Jesus' daughter, that's been teaching me and talking to me. Like anytime I be like the Holy Spirit, when I say I went to talk to the Holy Spirit by the water and she was audible, that was Tamar. And then I had goosebumps. They started going way down. That's why I ran in the bathroom. I'm just like, that was you this whole time? Like this whole entire time that you've been talking to me or just showing me? And the things she's just been telling me, just open myself up to love, trust this person, time to end this cycle, close this cycle up, it's ran this course. And I'm just the whole time I'm thinking the Holy Spirit. But then when you really think about who or what the Holy Spirit is, the Holy Spirit is really just an avatar. Anybody on that higher frequency can step into that suit, that body, that role. But I'm but just to know that she's been talking to me this whole time, all these years. And that's why I say I don't even ask names. I'll just say spirit, spirit, spirit. I was talking to spirit. When I say if I talk to spirit, it could be Most High Mother and Father. It could be my grandma. It could be somebody else. It could be just a random spirit, but I call them all spirits. So I'm I was just talking to spirit. But usually when I say Holy Spirit, I usually just, picture this lady because I see the same lady. She looks the exact same. She's always nice. She took me to the Akashic Library. She showed me around. She was even oh my God. And just to know. So that's what I'm about to go do some research on and go find her. Because soon as I seen and then just a little that I do know about her, the throat chakra, that's her. Blue. And I'm all of those invitations that I just been receiving to these higher things, and I just been scared to just do it because I'm I've never done nothing like this. I don't hear anybody else talking about nothing like this. What if I went into spiritual psychosis and I'm losing my mind? But I've just been going through so much, so I'm just when I said I have to call myself back to meeting, just to figure out who is who. And I was everybody's just coming forth and just telling me who they are, and it's I can't really explain it. It's just feeling like your whole life, you were just not feeling important, and feeling you just don't matter, and nobody cares, and just and then just to find out that people do love you and care about you on the other side, from higher levels, and care enough to still just be patient enough with me to just sit here and teach me. And then I'm just you, Sarah, the Sarah. Oh my God. I'm just filled with so much emotion right now. I'm about to go outside and go hug a tree. So happy. And I'm like, just to know that this whole time, like, you've been here with me, like, my whole life, you've been here teaching me, guiding me, making jokes with me, like, you. I'm so happy, guys. But I just wanted to share that. So if you get some more videos, or we finna finna go do some stuff on tomorrow or Sarah, and maybe possibly find out who the hidden daughter is, because I know they had a fourth child. I know they did. But I have to go find my notebook, because I did all this research like 3 years ago. And then in this research, I found that Jesus was really born April 1st, 1814. That, like, honestly, this world is not as old as they trying to say that it is. And then, like, after 1814, like, he lived a full life. He died as an old man. And it was something around his death. That's why America, like, the whole world was on fire. Like, you can go look up, I think it's like in the 1900s or right before the 1900s, like, every part of the world was on fire. But now, I don't know, I'm so happy. I'm about to go just wash my face, hug a tree. I just wanted to share that with you guys, that I finally know who this Holy Spirit is that I've been talking to this whole entire time. Oh yeah, and then I forgot to add, that was the point I brought up about Jesus being born in 1814. Because in some research that I found, and I promise you, I'm going to have to go find my old notebooks, because I was locked in on researching at that time. But I found research, it was like 1837, that Jesus was studying magic. He went to go learn magic from the Druids in Gaslow, Gaslow. And that's over there by Camelot. That's over there by Wales. That's what got me into, like, watching Merlin and things like that, to see, like, you know, life really was. And then from that, I read the Book of Jubilees. From there, I went to the Apocrypha, like different books, the Keys of Enoch, and like Pistis Sophia, Sealed Portion, Book of Mormon. Like, all of this stuff is connected. But Jesus learned magic from the Druids in like 1837. Don't quote me, but it was around that time. But it was in Gaslow, on the other side of the world. It was over there by Wales. That's all I know. Or Wallis, whatever. So I call it Wales. But anyways, but got me like to watch it, like, you know, got me in like to the Norse stuff. Like, he fought in wars. Like, cause I was at a point, I'm like, dang, was Jesus Merlin? But no, but I compare Merlin more so to like Moses, kind of. Maybe he's part, like, I don't know. But that's just what I wanted to share, because people keep talking about like how evil stuff is, and they're like, oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. There's parts in that story, in that Bible, that hasn't even been told. It's been ripped out of the book. Because, like, I see stuff, like I keep telling you guys, like, I see stuff in, like, visions and stuff like that. And before, who was that? Before Rome even released that Bible, I've already told everybody in my close circle that Rome had the closest thing, besides India, Ethiopia, that Rome had like the second closest thing to the original Bible. That France has Noah's clothes that Noah had on the ark. And I just going like, because it was like a worldwide deception after just like splitted everything up. So everybody has a part in it. So like not one person is blameless. Everybody would be blameless, because everybody took a part in trying to control one group of people, right? So that's why I was just pretty much explaining that. But you can go do the research for yourself. It's out there. You don't have to take my word for it. But that's why I was just getting on to like why I just get so confused. And I've been more so confused, just like, you know, just want to question people. Like, do you really do research, or do you just read what's in front of you? And then after you read that Bible, do you go pray? Do you fast? Because like I said, we have two minds. Two, up here and down here. As above is so below. Whatever you have up here, you got down there. Whatever you got down there, you have up here, right? Whatever you have in here, you have out there. Whatever's out there, it's in here. That's how life works, right? And that's why like a star is like a perfect representation of that. But most people take out the ends of the stars and just look at the diamond of it, right? But you got to look at the bigger picture. How can you know good if you don't know what evil is? How can you not like light if you never seen the darkness? Or how about like there's a lot, but I'm about to go jump in the shower so I can go out and see the trees. But I just wanted to make sure I add that part on the video to see why I brought up Jesus going to Gaslow. Because he learned magic, abracadabra, bippity boppity boo, from the Druids. And if you know the Druids in Camelot, Camelot was killing the Druids for doing magic because supposedly King Arthur's father um, used magic to bring his son into life because the mama died and da 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 da. And then he turned around and hated magic because he didn't know that all magic came with a price. And then so he declared magic evil and then started killing everybody that did use magic. And you know, the history research is out there. Like I said, you don't have to take just my word for it. But I did the research to say that Jesus was born April 1st on 1814. And when I go find my research, of course, it's probably in storage somewhere. I got my stuff somewhere everywhere. But I'll definitely back up my facts. I always do.